this is a picture of the restoration of one of those.
And turn around the computer.
So I'm presenting on German infantry, and I have some stuff about the French, Britain, or the UK, the USSR, and some others. So this one is the Hotchkiss M1914. It was chambered for an 8mm cartridge and became the standard machine gun of the French Army in World War I and World War II. It was manufactured by Hotchkiss and Co. I think that is, but it's French, obviously. It had been established in the 1860s by American industrialist Benjamin B. Hotchkiss. The system was first formulated in 1895 by
Benet and Merci?
no, this guy.
Oh, Orkole.
Okay, and improved into its final form by Benet and Merci. This led to the adoption of a 250-round articulated metal belt in 1917. It was widely used in all of the French tanks of the period and in some airplanes. Wait, can you go back?
It was gas. You wrote gas actuated.
Gas
Like
Yeah.
it wasn't a spring.
And this is all of its specifications.
But some of the guns of those periods were like experimenting with those.
Yeah.
So.
You done? Okay. Next one. And then this is the Rebel. I believe it was used by the French as well, mostly.
You wrote French was the cartridge.
Okay. So it was also gas operated, and it used this 7.5 mm cartridge and loaded into a 150-round drum. The variant used in fortifications was modified with a different rifling to accommodate a different type of ammunition that was heavier and more effective to penetrate armor. It fired from an open bolt and in full automatic mode only. You couldn't do semi-automatic or just regular. The piston is located below the barrel, and it operated through the vertically tilting bolt group. The barrel could not be removed and replaced in the field, so if it jammed, you were stuck with it. Feed is from a multi-layer pan magazine that held 150 rounds of ammo. Magazines could be installed from the right or left. Ejection was straight down through the short chute attached to the base of the receiver, so when you see like old videos when they're firing really quickly, the cartridges or what's left of them just fall through the bottom really quickly. And then it just had a regular grip. And then those are the specifications on there. It weighed 11.8 kg. Yeah, so the cartridge was French. So I would imagine it was French.
So if it was shooting 750 rounds per minute, but you can only hold 150 rounds, you were pretty much done in like 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome.
That would mean you'd have to like reload it.
Reload every
Yeah.
10 seconds.
That'd be epic. And firing that many rounds.
But you're at war.
Yeah, but
You're at war.
You're reloading every 10 seconds.
That's
You're spinning
assuming you're
as long as
shooting
you're
150
killing people.
rounds every 10 seconds.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah, I mean, you're not gonna be
yeah,
like
too.
holding down the trigger.
You're not going to be holding down the trigger 24/7. That's World War I. We're beyond that.
But also, this is fully automatic,
What's
so it's
this
not
do?
like you have to aim. You just literally just swivel it, just
Yeah.
do what William was doing at JP,
Yeah.
your brother's
Okay.
birthday party.
That's
Alright, so this is also a French one. It's the Dachnay. It became famous for its innovative shotguns, and it entered into military weapons in 1915 when the French government manufactured the Lewis machine guns. In 1960, the same company developed its own machine gun of better design. It was designed for rapid manufacturing techniques and without any unnecessary refinements typical for most contemporary small arms. External finish and appearance of the Darn machine gun was crude but worked well, and its price was much lower than that of contemporary weapon of compatible combat characteristics. And those are the specifics as well. Even more.
But now you're feeding it with the belt.
Yep.
Yeah. So, still, shooting that many rounds from
pieces.
They wouldn't realistically get that many out because you have to
Yeah.
reload.
But in theory.
And this is 1916, so we're not yet, they're not yet making something for the
Well,
current
it was
crisis.
made in 1916, but it was still used in World War II, because, I mean, this one was really cheap, and
Still
1,200 pounds per minute, I'd buy that.
Now, were some of these put inside tanks and vehicles?
Yeah, like I think the Rebel was, I said that in one weekend, but it was French tanks, so.
Brown.
This one was
This was American, I know this one.
Yeah, this one was.
I've shot one of these.
Okay.
These are heavy machine guns.
You smile as you say, I've shot one of these. You guys are so funny.
Yeah. So it was carried by advancing infantrymen. It's mostly known for the pictures with the guys just walking.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
that one. Yeah.
And it's heavy. Look at it, 16 pounds.
That's probably why he's carrying it like this, because like this would
Well,
be.
comparatively, it's not that heavy. I know they had sniper rifles in the Civil War that weighed 40 pounds.
Oh, I have
Oh,
those.
wow.
You don't run around with that.
Actually, they did. They do quite a bit of running.
You go up and sit up somewhere. And
You shoot,
give
then you
yourself a
run.
little
Talk
tip.
about fitness.
Go ahead.
Alright, next.
Alright.
No, it is gas operated as well. Except
What?
straight fire was pretty good. So,
4,500 to 5,000 yards fire range.
And that was the limit on the firing range was your sight. If you can, they would put scopes on these and use them as sniper rifles because they shot a 30-06 round, which I know today we still use the 30-06 if you go moose hunting. So they are. It's a huge round.
Wait, what did you say, huh?
Oh.
Were we talking about rounds?
Yeah, the bullets.
and so these are the different pictures of them. So the one I just did was Browning, which was this one.
Mhm.
That's huge.
And look how big this gun is compared to the guy.
That's a river.
So those you mount.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's no way you could
Ex-
carry those.
Yeah, you set them on the ground somewhere. Like the Browning, you go up to a trench and you put it on the
Yeah.
ground
Like a little teepee.
while you're sitting down below.
Unless you're Arnold's.
Okay, go
So
ahead.
you ready, Jacob? Alright, so now I'm on the flamethrowers. The names are very not inventive. It's just the flamethrower 35. So just grabbed it and it was used to clear out trenches and buildings. So, oh, and it could
Bunkers.
project fuel up to 25 meters. So that's how much the range it usually had.
Now these are
there's-
starting with gas, right? They eventually start using liquid.
So
no.
for you girls, that's like a dragon. That's how this goes. When he says clearing woods,
And so it weighs 79 pounds.
That
is
includes
like,
the thing on the back, right?
That's
What?
all fuel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't you have to like wear something on the back?
Yeah.
yeah, I have pictures.
The fuel and the power.
Yeah,
You're
Like,
literally
you have one
fried
tank
if you
for
get
the-
hit with this thing.
yeah.
Insane.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
And then you can hold it for 10 seconds. And then, yeah.
They ran out remarkably fast. All flamethrowers did. It wasn't specific to
Yeah.
German. It was just all flamethrowers were gone.
they have a very
fast.
specific
All I keep
purpose.
thinking is Iron Man has missiles, bombs, and flamethrowers in his hands. You know, this is not impressive.
Iron Man was not fighting Hitler.
Iron Man is a tank.
Captain America.
His dad-
Yes.
Yeah,
Frisbee.
No, it's a boomerang.
Well, a very effective frisbee at that. So this is the flamethrower 46. I don't actually have pretty much any of its specifications in a nice little chart. It was designed to be cheap and mass-produced. Half-second burst of flame up to 89 feet or 27 meters. It was issued to, I don't know what movement that was, or what, like, where they were, but
German paratroopers. So it
no,
was,
I was meaning the Volks,
Volks,
so they're more
yeah.
wearable.
Yeah, but what, in other words, what are they using flamethrowers for in 1944? Do we know?
I would imagine there'd still be like trenches and also clearing their path.
Not trenches, but
well-
then they were being pushed back, so
Yeah.
they were in the mainland. That's
But-
where you're in forests, like
Yeah.
French, the
you could
Ardennes
just
forest.
burn it down.
They were using them
Wow.
to take out bunkers. And yeah, forests, clearing paths.
And also, it would provide you cover to get away. Because I mean, if they can't see you, they can't shoot you.
Well,
And I mean,
Yeah,
also,
but you just put
I-
yourself on the radar by clearing some forest
Yeah.
with fresh flame.
But if
And,
you
Now
have
they
enough.
know where you are.
So
and
I'm
also,
looking
if you're
at it-
shot in the, if that tank on the back of you is shot, the
So-
entire like area around you blows up.
So
you
look at
would
it though,
mostly
it only,
retreat like
it
this,
only
just
has one
flames.
half-second burst of flame, and it says it was used by paratroopers. This was parachuted on someone's back out of a plane. This was a very light version. It was probably pretty darn small because it couldn't weigh much. And obviously this was a one-time use, real quick. You had to aim right the first time type of thing.
Maybe like if you
Disposable
couldn't get
rifle,
out your gun to
Yeah, so
shoot.
this was,
No, you don't shoot people with a
No, I know, but
flamethrower.
No, you
Just
wouldn't have a gun when you
defense.
had one of these.
If you're a paratrooper, would it be in
No,
your
you would have like a
defense?
pistol.
no,
you
so
don't have it.
this was more than likely, this was used for special SS units which were paratrooped behind lines to go take out, like you could set a command building on fire with this type of thing. This was probably more than likely for suicide missions towards the end of the war when they were losing very badly.
Pretty much suicide bombings, but with flames. So,
Well, they take
well, not
down,
in bombs.
they go down, taking
Yeah.
them down.
So this is the flamethrower 41. It was produced in 41. I guess that's where they got the name. To clear out trenches and buildings, and was the upgraded version of the 35. It could project fuel up to 32 meters and weighed 28.7 kilograms, 63 pounds, and held 11.8 liters of tar and petrol called Flammol 19, and it was ignited by a hydrogen torch provided about 10 seconds of continuous use. So that was kind of like the 35. And tar was used to give it a better range and made it heavier as well, which was unfortunate. It was activated at the same time with the, whatever that is, and inside the protective, and it was inside the protective pipe, so you couldn't burn yourself, unless you were really not smart. During the earlier stages of its life, the trigger and muzzle section of the flamethrower were dressed up to look like a standard infantry rifle, in an attempt to disguise scouts and keep them from being singled out by enemy snipers.
So, what was I going to say? The reason why tar was used, when you're saying it's heavier, that's so that it actually
Like with
stayed
stick.
there.
Yeah.
It would stick and it would continue burning.
Yeah.
Go further.
Yeah, it would basically, so it continues
Add
to
more.
burn whatever you sprayed. It wouldn't just, like a gas or liquid, burn up and then it's
Right.
gone. A tar, it's a
It would
physical
leave it
substance.
to continue eating up.
Yeah.
Also with these, I would imagine it would be very effective against tanks in like a town, because I mean in a town a tank can't move as far.
No, fire
Well-
could not get through the
Yeah.
tank.
But you could
No, but
blind the
you would-
operators on the
yeah.
inside if you sprayed.
Yeah, you could
If
blind
you
also-
sprayed their blind, because they did have slits to be able to see through,
Yeah,
but later they had
exactly.
glass. So if you sprayed the openings, it would either go through or it would stay on.
Yeah.
Or there
You
were
can't
stories
see
of
through
people
your
that would
glass
get
when
on
it's on
top of the
fire.
tank and
That's
open
true.
the hatch
Yes.
and
Yeah.
then just do it inside.
I saw that.
But I mean it would be.
I watch a lot of adventures.
I mean it wouldn't be.
Saw somebody in a tank and they,
Yeah, throw a grenade in.
It wouldn't be helpful on like an open battlefield where they could easily kill you pretty much, but it would be very effective in buildings. So yeah, these are the pictures.
Was that the disposable in this uplift?
Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
tiny.
That's what I said. It was very small. It's essentially
that was
smaller
light
than
a
what,
candle.
2 seconds or half second. So this is the Gera 43 sniper rifle. Wow. It's a semi-automatic developed by Nazi Germany. It was a modification of the G41 and was used as for using an improved gas system similar to that of the Soviet Tupolev. And then it weighed 9.7 pounds. It was gas operated. Its range was 500 meters to 800 meters with the scope. And then it had a 10-round detachable box magazine. And then it had an iron sight with optical crosshair sight. And this was the Gera 98. Used a stripper clip loading with the 7.92 by cartridge. Introduced advanced infantry weapon features. It was rapidly adopted in the Anglo-American pattern 1914, which was an American or British-American sniper rifle, I would imagine. And nowadays it's mostly used for sporting. And in '05, the 8mm cartridge was introduced. Wait, what? Okay. I forget what I was meaning to say right there. But I think the 1888 was one of the, was a different kind of gun. It was just, yeah, it was probably made in '88.
So there's
I don't
an
really know
adaptation later. Go on.
Yeah. I don't really know what else to say about this one. It weighed 9 pounds with an empty magazine. Oh, wait, can you go back one? Okay, go for it. Okay. The Carabiner 98 is a bolt action rifle chambered with the Mauser cartridge that was adopted in '35 as the standard surface rifle by the German Wehrmacht. It was one of the final developments in the long line of Mauser rifles. Although supplemented by semi and fully automatic rifles during World War II, it remained the primary German service rifle until the end of World War II in 1945. Millions were captured by the Soviet at the conclusion of World War II, and the Soviet Union gave them as military aid widely. The Carabiner 98K therefore continues to appear in conflicts across the world as they are taken out of storage during times of strife. So like, probably used in Ukraine. Just saying. So it weighed 8.2 pounds to 9 pounds. The cartridge was a Mauser, it was bolt action. The increase of range was 200 meters with the sight from the Gewehr. I think that was the last one.
Iron sight.
Yeah.
It
Nice.
says 1,000 meters with telescopic sight.
Yeah, so can you go back one, actually, really quick? Wait. Yeah,
So
800 meters.
uh,
Wait, no.
500 and 800, and then you have 550, well, 500.
500 with 1,000.
So yeah, it's 200 with.
Well, this is the effective firing range. I was wondering, a
That's-
scope doesn't make it shoot farther. Like,
No, that is.
it just makes it more accurate, so you can shoot.
What does it mean when it says iron sight? So
Iron sight is just the sights installed on the gun by the manufacturer.
All it is, it's literally
Different-
a bar
then
that
add-on
goes down,
telescopic.
maybe little.
It's like essentially a
Crosshair.
horseshoe with the.
Or just
What's
like
gonna
a
look
little
like
circle
this?
added.
It's
Oh,
pretty much trying to
yeah, I
help
see.
you kill other
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
Right, but it's
Okay.
not
It's
obvious.
the, like,
It's just your
the
little
dots
aim
thing.
It's a little peep sight. essentially.
hardware.
Yeah.
Your mom's ready for you, Jacob.
All right, and then
Yeah, and then that's the Carabiner, and then both of the Gewehrs looked pretty much like that, just different specs.
I barely run together.
Are those wooden?
That looks wooden.
Yeah, I think they are.
both of them had wooden bodies.
Yeah. So, this was an anti-tank one, and I have no idea why they chose the name Fusel Anti-Char Boys. It was a bolt-action rifle fed from a 5-shot magazine. The weapon was large and heavy with a bipod at the front and a separate grip below the padded butt. In order to combat the recoil caused by the .55 inch round, the barrel was mounted on a slide and a shock absorber was fitted to the bipod along with a muzzle brake on the barrel. The cartridge was an adaptation of the .50 BMG with a belt-added firing 47.6 gram bullet. At its introduction, it was effective on light armor, 100 yards. There were two main service loads used during World War II, the Mark I and the Mark II. The Mark I could penetrate 23.2 millimeters of armor at 100 yards, about the thickness used on the frontal armor of a half truck or armored car, or the side of the rear armor of a light tank, so probably one of the
Earlier
like the first,
Panzers,
yeah.
23 millimeters was nothing on the later
Yeah.
tanks.
Yeah, but that's something on the human body.
Later in World War II, a more effective round was developed, the Mark II, which had a tungsten core projectile at 945 meters per second. the boy's effective range against unarmored targets was a lot greater. So the more penetration was 100 yards, and then the 18.8 was 500 yards. So that is 5 times what it could originally
So
do.
if you go down to the pictures, you can see how big the magazine is.
Yeah. And so this is the PTRS 41.
Go through like weight, range, and
Okay.
stuff.
Weight was 46 pounds, length was 83 inches, barrel length 47 inches, cartridge 14.5 times 114, gas operated, effective firing range 800 meters, maximum firing range 1500 meters against armored vehicles, and then there's a 5-round clip.
So 14.5 millimeter.
Yeah.
armor piercing.